on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
As protests over police brutality erupt across the nation, I'm reminded of this passage from the Capitalist Conspiracy booklet written by G. Edward Griffin in 1971. If those who seek world dominion can stimulate leftist mobs into violent confrontation with local law enforcement and also provide exhaustive news coverage so that the entire nation can see and tremble, then the peaceful and freedom-loving majority can be programmed to accept a vast expansion of government powers and even a national police force offered supposedly to end the violence. We're witnessing that same old Hegelian dialectic today. By stimulating unrest and allowing it to spiral out of control, the federal government can offer itself up as the solution, sacrificing ourselves for the king's nefarious takeover plan. Join the revolution. Subscribe to the Alex Jones channel on YouTube and share this information with your friends. You are the resistance.
Used since before the days of the Roman Empire to support the body's natural systems. Introducing the new InfoWarsLife.com oil of oregano formulation. We have now procured the most high quality and potent forms of oregano oil on the market, extracted directly from the wild herb and sealed in easy-to-use capsules. You will no longer need to endure the burning of liquid oregano on the tongue. Now available in our limited first run at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139. Alex Jones here. For the last 2 years, I've been working with top doctors, nutritionists, and chemists to design a nutraceutical formulation that has truly life-changing health benefits. Introducing the all-new Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Blend. Experience the benefits of combining over 14 ancient herbs and extracts with exciting new advances in nutraceutical science. Visit InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139. That's InfoWarsLife.com. What lies at the heart of InfoWars and everything we do? At the core is fellow human beings of every race, color, and creed across the United States and the planet that believe in personal liberty. And it's people like you that have promoted the radio broadcast to their friends and family. It's people like you that have bought the high-quality products at InfoWarsStore.com that have made everything we do possible. And that's why I want to salute you. You have helped us build this operation. You don't stand beside us or behind us or even in front of us. You stand at the heart of InfoWars. That's why in the month of April, we're offering some of the biggest specials yet to introduce listeners to these high-quality nutraceuticals at InfoWarsLife.com. 50% off high-quality colloidal silver bullet. Buy 2 X2 nascent iodines. Get 1 fluoride shield absolutely free and free shipping. 50% off silver bullet. Free shipping. Free bottles of fluoride shield detoxer. Find the specials at InfoWarsLife.com.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance. It's Alex Jones.
Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central, we're here live. We return weeknights, 7 o'clock Central, InfoWars Nightly News. And then Sundays, I return live. I'll be live this Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time in studio, as I was last Sunday. Thank you so much for joining us. Here's what it really boils down to in the final equation. There is a planetary war against individual freedom, a planetary war against individual capital, not controlled by a global crime syndicate, gang, combine of robber baron, thug bankers. And they've all written books, basically. They're all public about their plan. Senator Barry Goldwater exposed them. Ron Paul exposed them. Ronald Reagan exposed them when he was running for president. You can pull up those videos of Reagan talking about the Trilateral Commission. This was mainline Republican Party politics. But the mainline media beat the Republicans into submission, demonized the John Birch Society in about 8 or 9 of the 30 or so articles I scanned over attacking Governor Abbott for saying, yeah, I'm concerned about Jade Helm. People are concerned. I'm going to make sure our liberties are guarded and we're not federalized. I'm going to send out the State Guard to monitor it. They go, oh, what's he sleep with the John Birch Society Blue Book under his pillow? If you read the John Birch Blue Book from the 50s, all of it came true. If you go listen to the speeches John Birch gave back in the... John Birch was tortured to death, but the founder of the John Birch Society gave, it all came true. I'm not a member of the John Birch Society, but I know what's going on in the world because when I was a little kid, my parents had friends that were in the John Birch Society, guys that worked at the telephone company, FBI agents, cops, lawyers that would come by the house, and they'd basically have John Birch meetings and talk about the New World Order and the plans for the country and the 3 mega regions and how they transfer our liberties into foreign treaties. Everything that's basically 90% complete. And instead of getting 100 Pulitzer Prizes for what they've done, they get to have people like Salon and the Austin American Statesman and Bloomberg, all these anti-American, knuckle-dragging totalitarians wearing a suit of liberalism attack people that simply tell the truth. You know, Governor Abbott has sued more than, I don't know, it's 20-something times, the feds, over saying, you know what, we're just going to take a couple thousand square miles of property on both sides of the Red River in Oklahoma and Texas and just federalize it. Abbott says, no, you're not. I'm going to sue you. You know what, we're just going to shut down about 100-something Texas power plants outside of law. He says, we're going to sue you. You know what, we're going to shut down a bunch of ranching outside of law. We're just going to have the BLM show up in East Texas with no jurisdiction and not even a court ruling and say you can't use your land. Abbott goes, you know what, I'm going to sue you. You know what, we're going to just open the border up in Texas and just flood you to be bankrupted by tens of millions of illegals. And Abbott says, I'm going to have the state police down there arresting people that have criminal backgrounds and turning them over to you and embarrassing you. And I'm going to have judges come out and rule against you. I mean, the truth is, Abbott is quietly doing what a governor would do. He's not radical. The country is burning down around us politically. We're hemorrhaging out, being run onto the rocks of debt by design. And so they have it in the Dallas Morning News, and they have it in all these other papers that Abbott believes that Obama is going to invade and declare martial law this summer. He doesn't need to do that. He's already in control. He already said 2 years ago in the legislature, said, we're not going to let the TSA grope children's genitals. And the feds said, fine, F-16s are standing by for a blockade of the state. Any aircraft will be forced down or shot down. That was in the Associated Press. That's how the Civil War started with the naval blockades. And they've billed Obama as this messianic leader, Lincoln too. And anyone that opposes total federalization, that's really globalization, is now a Southern, avenger. The South is rising again. Listen, I'll take a federal national government any day. We don't have that. We have a global corporate government. We have been taken over. I mean, look at Senator Elizabeth Warren today. Is she a conspiracy theorist? What do we hammer here every day? Senator Warren calls on Obama to declassify trade deal details. That's right. Congress isn't even allowed to see the secret 30-plus part, multi-thousand-page trade deal written over the last 7 years to create the TPP, Trans-Pacific Partnership, that makes NAFTA, at least we had a debate about NAFTA. I could see part of it. They were always changing it back in the early 90s. And now that we know these trade deals are one-sided screw jobs for select corporations to shut down their competition, we have her at least coming out and saying, remember, this is an anti-gun, pro-open border globalist, bad news. But still, it's shocking and heroic that she would be saying You need to let Congress and the people see what's in this. Oh, my gosh, like the FCC takeover or like all these secret orders on opening the borders? Or I mean, see how far we've come? That secret corporate bodies are making our laws, and 81% to 83%, the British government admits this, of their laws are made by the EU that's unelected. I had a few years ago a reporter call me and they go, you say the EU's unelected. They have a parliament. And I went, wow, you're a fancy journalist. You knew they had a parliament. I know that. I have members of the parliament on, the EU parliament, like Nigel Farage and others. But they're ceremonial. They only make recommendations to the central board. And it's run by the IMF and the World Bank International Bank of Settlements. Just like the TPP and the NAU and the TPP and the Trans-Texas Corridor and all the rest of it. You know the treaty to bring us into the NAU is still secret after it was signed in 2005 in Waco, Texas by Vicente Fox, Paul Martin, and George Herbert Walker Bush's son, George W. The average reporter out there can't tell you who was president of Mexico in 2005 or who was the prime minister of Canada. See, the truth is we're like gods compared to these lazy reporters. And I'm not saying I'm like a god. I'm a pathetic creature. The point is we are light years ahead of them. But see, we're not like the globalists. They're light years ahead too. They can name all the people. They can name the players because they're running it. They want to name them. They want to know it because they run the show. We're sitting back, reverse engineering everything they've done. The takeover is now public. And just thank God, veterans and patriots back in the 40s and 50s. In fact, I need to look into this because I forgot to do it last night and this morning, so I'll put the alert out, kind of the bat signal to everybody. My dad was listening to Sergeant Sam, a retired police officer who does a popular, it's the #1 morning show here locally with Mark Caesar and Ed Clements, who's just an unbelievable. I mean, Ed Clements sees me in the hallways of 590 and actually kind of bows up. I mean, he does not like me. The other two are pretty good guys. And Sergeant Sam, I didn't hear it as my dad heard it, was on there, and he's a smart guy. He knows about as much as I do. He's older. He goes, you know this Jade Helm was actually a program under State Department Memorandum 7277 for total disarmament of the American people by the United Nations. And I didn't have time. I forgot to Google that and search that because I don't know if that's true. I'm sure it's true if he's saying it. He checks his facts to pretty much a neurotic level, more so than I do. And I know Memorandum 7277 is public. They tried to pass it as a law. I don't have the bill number in front of me, but it was State Department policy to federalize police under the RAND Corporation and then disarm the police and the general public and bring in federal global peacekeepers. That's part of the demonization of local police. That's why they trained them to act like crazies so they could set them up. So I know 7277 does that, and I know they had a bill. I don't have the bill number in front of me, so what we need to search is what was the accompanying public law that they tried to pass but couldn't in 1962 under 7277. And it's got the manuals in the State Department packet. In fact, pull up 7277, complete and total disarmament document. Just Google that. We've got copies of it around the office from Congress, originals. But it's blue, and it shows the UN force growing in their helmets and tanks, and then the U.S. force shrinking. And then it talks about disarmament of the American people. And then modern July 7th, 2000, UNIDIR, United Nations Committee on Small Arms Disarmament. That's the same group recommending this treaty Obama says he's going to implement outside of law, even though Congress won't ratify. And in that, it says it will disarm the American people. There it is. Freedom from war. Yeah, but go to Scribs. I want to show the actual document because it's got graphics of the disarmament. And so that's why globally you see this happening. But I didn't know that they listed the first exercise as Jade Helm, except for an artifact remnant memory that I got chills Bernadine Smith, who runs a big Second Amendment group out in California,